let's read the cards. Because there's very much an energy here of a love that is forbidden. Something that you're not supposed to feel. Because it would be the end for them. It feels like such a perfectly executed plan, 333. That was played beautifully. Unconsciously at first. And then consciously. And the entire timeline continued to play out exactly as it needed to. In order. Wow. For it all to happen exactly the way it did. Okay, so just from what I can see, the way that these cards landed, I have on the bottom, all I can see is the word love. This is not the Lover's card. This is more than likely the Two of Cups. I see a Cancer, a feminine sign, the upside down triangle, which I believe is water. That's what I think, but we'll find out. Let me look really quick. Okay. Where are you? Ah, I am correct. It is very much so water. Now, I'm also seeing in here. Where is it? Feminine energy. There's a very strong feminine energy there, and I don't actually know what this other symbol represents. Let's find out if it's written in here in elements. Okay. Water, Venus. That's Venus, Uranus, and Cancer. So that's Venus and that's Uranus. So we've got Uranus. So let's go ahead and look at the sign in Uranus really quick. Actually, yep, that's exactly what it was. Okay, okay. So we want to look at revolution, innovation, freedom, and sudden change, pushing boundaries and distributing the status quo for social evolution, technology, and individuality, with its slow movement, about 7 years per sign, making it generational influence. This is really interesting. So we have all 4 elements. No, 2 elements, air and water. but this is underneath of the Sun card, which is then also fire. That's Leo. Then on top of that, in the downward, heads down here, downward, we have Venus again. And this is water. So this would be Earth. This would be air. And this would be fire. Okay. Okay. All right. Now that I've looked at that, and I can see the planetary effects. I think this other one's Aquarius. Maybe, actually, let's just go to the back. Okay, here we go. I was right. It is Aquarius, which is an air sign. And that's the, yeah, air symbol, and the moon, and Venus. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense for what I just felt in the closet. Okay, so we have the 2, the 19, and the 7. This is love illuminating to the sun that doesn't have to manipulate anymore. This is love awakening the sun. And I mean that in a literal way. Like, the sun didn't realize it was living in illusion and was casting judgment and shade upon that which it itself actually separated. So, and this is actually very evident in these 3 cards. So here we have the air element and Aquarius, and we have the moon and the Venus. Okay, this is literal in the way that the feminine was separated from self in order to manipulate it. And that's the moon. This is what came to me today, 11/11. The moon was placed in order to force the cycle. It was the forcing of the entrance into a cycle. It was literal. Forcing a split from Tara to Gaia and the moon, Luna. The sun separating the body from the sensuality of Venus and casting shade upon it, forcing it into a cycle, battling itself, taking away its freedom, making it live under the control of the sun and the sun's moon. That's insane. We have the Knight of Cups here. Okay, so I have to talk about this. This is the Knight of Cups. This is an elusive energy. This is not an energy. It's not elusive, I'm sorry. It's an illusion. Okay? This Knight of Cups is the romancing of the stone. It comes bearing a cup and hints at being a water sign. But in the truth, the reality of the matter is it is actually Aquarius and double Gemini. Is that what that is? Double Gemini? I always get the Gemini mixed up with the Pisces. Oh no, it's double Pisces. Okay. So it comes as if it is a Cancer. It pretends that it is a Cancer, but in reality, it is an air sign that is actually super immature in the water. It holds both the element of water and fire and presents itself as water, but in reality, it's ice. It's cold. It promises warmth and delivers depth, but it's cold, unfeeling, lip service. He's a messenger. Oh yeah, he's a messenger. But the message he brings is one of polarity, one of duality, one of illusions, of falsity. He armored himself up, clothed himself in white robes, presented self as Cancer on a white horse. But the depth of the water through which he is walking is so shallow and he reveals himself. But now, this is in the reverse. This is no longer the same Knight of Cups. This Knight of Cups is the sun. This Knight of Cups is no longer manipulative because love, which this Two of Cups card has both a shark and a dolphin on it. This love, and I'm drawn to the fact that both of the two on the Two of Cups, the male and female on the Two of Cups in this deck, they're very young. Very young. And the way they hold each other is as if they know it will be a long time before they see each other again. But that's it. They're young. And then the Sun card is the inner child. This man is ragged. This is the rogue, right? The rogue with the damaged heart that's only trying to survive. And he uses all of the tactics he's used all of these years to survive. But when these tactics stopped working, that's when the truth was revealed. There was an ego death for this Knight of Cups because of it. Okay, so that was Act 1. Okay, so this is Act 1. So it kind of feels like this Knight of Cups. It's just, going along, doing his thing like he normally does, breaking hearts, taking names, whatever. Presenting self with mask, aka armor, to protect the squishy insides, which turns out is this sun energy, right? Knight of Cups meets Two of Cups, creates, remembers, it's the sun, puts aside all of the manipulative tactics may have used in the past. I'm getting a very Rico Suave energy. And a Six of Swords and 10 of Wands. That's how the 10 of Wands is what awakens you to the Six of Swords and wanting to leave. Now, I don't know if you can hear that, but I have a fan in my bathroom that automatically comes on when the humidity level reaches a certain, I don't know how you measure humidity. Anyway, it reaches a certain level, and then the fan kicks on in order to reduce the humidity in the bathroom. There's no humidity in there. It just randomly likes to start sometimes, especially when there is a need for silence. So the noise that pops up is, especially in this moment, it's a sign, right? It's a synchronicity, and it's saying that it's almost like when you zeroed in on this Two of Cups energy, the noise of the world like amped up to like a 30, and you noticed. And it actually ended up to like leading you to seeking out a similar energy. Oopsie. Yeah. Okay. So I have one that dropped on the ground upside down, and I have two on the desk, and one that landed like on my chair, resting against my leg, back to me, facing outward, and I can see it. And it is the Three of Pentacles. So it kind of feels like it kind of feels like there was this secret collaboration. Because when this Knight of Cups realized he was actually the sun and put aside these manipulative tactics that he's been using for his whole life, like now he has this data, this information. And this Two of Cups brought in this beautiful feeling. And so there was a collaboration created in the hush-hush and the DL. Like, shh, don't tell nobody. We've got Earth, masculine, Saturn, and Scorpio. Oh, wow. So this Three of Pentacles, oh, wow. This isn't just like, this is almost like reverse engineering. Like you collaborated in order to reverse engineer something. And I'm seeing that in the Scorpio and Saturn symbols, like on this card, especially the masculine, the divine masculine is very logical, right? And so, and it's Earth. So this is a very physical, it may be in your 3D world, maybe it's something that you mentally think about, whatever it is, but it's very much related to the dirt body, the earth body, the earth itself, okay? The physical realm. And Saturn is there to test your responsibility. And so, and it feels almost like this is the gatekeeper energy for Scorpio, okay? Because in order to be able to make it to Sagittarius and or Ophiuchus, depending on which path you decide to take, you have to go into the void. And the void requires you to find that pain. And so if you're reverse engineering this, like, okay, so I see the end product, this Two of Cups. How do I get there? Let's work backwards, okay? And it's finding every single little bit of that Saturnic energy and transmuting it on the DL in some kind of collaboration. And it's blessed because in this picture, like, the light that's coming through on the man who's doing the actual work, it looks very heavenly, very holy. There are 3 symbols on the top of this. One of them is Mars. Mars is on here and Scorpio's on here, which no, that's not Scorpio. I'm sorry, that's Capricorn. Makes sense, earthly. So actually in that way, then this makes even more sense of working it backwards, because Capricorn is a very, this is after the philosophical fire level, like this is bringing that fire into the physical realm and saying, okay, I can see how this all comes together. Interesting. Oh, okay. This work, this down low work, has to do with the star and a stable foundation. But here's the deal. The star is in the reverse, and so is the 4 of Wands. This isn't just a little bit of work. This is like deep digging, trying to disrupt the star. There's a dualistic energy here, okay? On one hand, it's like, I have to crack this. I have to destroy this. It is absolutely, I have to destroy this. But then it becomes this, I can't destroy this. I want to destroy this, but I can't destroy this, and it's intriguing me that I can't destroy this, because this is the energy that's here, right? These manipulation tactics is something that this energy is so used to being in control of, and here is putting all of this effort into disrupting this star and ruining this foundation that is within the star. And I have two images on the 3 and on the 4 that are the same. It is a circle with a straight line in the middle. I am not 100%. I'm not 100% what some of these symbols necessarily mean. So it's it requires me to be able to look at them. But they're not all. And if I don't know what they're called, I'm not going to be able to. This is the star. Let's see what it says on. And this is 17, by the way. 17 is a number that chases me quite a bit, actually. All right, so we have. That symbol. Oh, that's not on that one. Sorry. It's on that one and that one. but it's not in the actual. Oh, I have no idea how we find that. Let's see. Circle with line through it symbol. Here we go. It's not a vertical, it's a horizontal. Here we go. Oh, it's a vector. It's mathematic. It's a current, a circuit. Oh, wow. Hey, that's the thing. That's theta. That's theta. Okay, I drew this symbol and that symbol, but I'm not sure what that symbol is. That's okay. Anyway, let's just read the energy here. Okay, so all of this effort that was put into disrupting this star and destabilizing the situation, which, again, understand these don't necessarily have to be outside external energies. This can be an internal battle that you are fighting, okay? It could feel as though every time you start to get your sea legs, they get swiped out from underneath of you. But then you rebuild, right? You rebuild your foundation over and over again, creating this unbreakable blueprint. And then now, all of this effort is being put in there to destabilize this solid foundation that you've built for yourself through healing, right? And now this energy is noticing you're not budging, right? You are standing firm in you being the star, which has lit them up to recognize they're the sun, which is also a star. Just, not as old as some of the other ones. And okay. First one out, the 13, the death card. But it's in the reverse. So this saga is not over yet, apparently. So, the Three of Pentacles effort to reduce the star to rubble and ash. This is the recognition This is you recognizing your transformation, and this outside energy or this internal energy or this egoic energy that is trying to stop this change. Because think about it, right? When you are going through change, you have, let's just talk about like health, okay? You have allowed your health to get out of hand, and suddenly you're like, okay, I need to get a handle on this, okay? And you start to do the change. You're doing the things you need to do. You're eating better, you're taking better care of your body, you're exercising, you're moving, you're being more active, but you're not seeing any changes in the physical. You're not even really like noticing the things that are changing within you. And so then the doubt starts to creep in, and your doubt will tell you you're just wasting your time. Nothing's going to change. You're going to end up, falling off the wagon, blah, 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 blah. Like, and this is the egoic mind, or the resistance to change. It's not necessarily good or bad. It's literally the resistance to change. You cannot truly change unless you work through the resistance, right? And that resistance isn't necessarily an outside force trying to stop you. No, it's the outside force that's saying, are you sure you want to do this? This isn't an easy road. The more you walk down this road, higher the level, the higher the devil, right? So as you continue to go, this is funny because the energy I'm getting off of this death card is death kept coming, but you kept not dying. Every time that these forces try to resist you changing, you pushed through those resistance forces, okay? And this is the universe recognizing that you didn't give up. You stopped that cycle repeat. You have stepped outside of the reach of death. Not in a bad way, as in, like, you're no longer changing, and not in, like, the way that, like, you'll never have to change again. It is breaking free from the rigidity of cycles, okay? So it's allowing you to step out of that which you've always been taught is reality. That you have to do X, Y, Z in order to get to A, B, C, okay? But when in reality, you could actually go Z, Y, X, W, V, and go backwards, right? Because as long as you're changing or transforming, it doesn't necessarily mean you are no longer changing. It means you're no longer stuck in the cycle repeat, okay? Look at this, right? Death does not care who you are or what you wear, right? This guy here, he's in a palpable outfit, like begging, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. Where's his faith? That he thinks that this is living. And then this guy, he's down here, he's rich, but these two right here, they're poor. One's a child. Are they afraid of death? Are you afraid of change? You should be more afraid of cycle repeats, which the death in the reverse is saying, hey, guess what? You kept doing the same thing over and over again, and it didn't work out. No. Okay, so this is the external energy that was in this 3 of Pentacles energy trying to destroy the star that is you, okay? And this is the cycle itself having to recognize that it is no longer effective because of the fact that you have reached a 2 of Swords energy, okay? Your star is so fucking protected, and now the sun can see and shine because you did the work. You dealt with this coordinated attempt to resist your transformation. And again, these don't have to be like people. It's literally just energy. And the energy is only being resistant because of the fact that you're stepping outside of that cycle that it's used to seeing. And now you don't recognize it, and it doesn't recognize you because you've transformed. Okay? And so the resistance that was pushing against you was like, hey, I don't recognize this. What are you doing? I'm not going to let go. No. And then it pushes back, right? It's just resistance, and you have to push through the resistance in order to make it to the other side, right? Think of Red Rover. Red Rover, send Angelina right over, and Angelina goes taking off and like tries to break through the chain of people on the other side. And as you're running across the field, you're trying to calculate which one of these people is the weakest, which link is the weakest that I can break through. This is you breaking through Red Rover and saying, death, you can't touch me. I got peace. Peace conquers death. Why? Oh, wow. Okay, so you're finding peace in the face of transformation and resistance to change. Brings us to the next act. In this next act, showed these forces, and at this moment it feels like an external energy, as in like somebody is on the outside looking in, watching you, seeing you press against this resistance and continuing to change, and it's bringing to light, and I'm feeling this Knight of Cups energy in this, the lack of strength. As a matter of fact, this is Leo energy, which is the same as the sun. So this is the sun recognizing that it was being cowardly in this Knight of Cups energy. And remember, we don't judge, because just because we are a certain way doesn't mean that we don't deserve compassion. If we go through life unconsciously and we are programmed by default by our environment, by that which we were brought up in, by that which we were taught, we're not taught to question. We're taught just to absorb. And so even if you found yourself, at the age of like 35, maybe even in prison, don't sit there and beat yourself up for becoming a product of your environment. What matters is that when you awaken, you take responsibility for what led to you becoming the monster you became. And I don't use that word lightly. A lot of people think that I'm a monster because I can walk away without looking like I care. But that's because I've dealt with so much pain in my life that pain doesn't wear on my face anymore. It goes through the giant flow of pain and is released. I've reached the cap, the threshold. There is no more pain because I've dealt with it. This is you. This is that Two of Swords energy. This is you going from, maybe even you're the Knight of Cups. Maybe you're the one that recognized what you were doing. Or maybe you're the Star. Either way, you could be either side of this energy, right? So the sun realized, watching this star not fall apart, that they didn't have any inner strength. They had been wearing this badge of courage for so long while hiding behind their armor. When you come into that realization, it's devastating. I had the opposite feeling. I always thought I was afraid of everything. When I came into the realization that I was actually fearless, it was mind-boggling. Because my entire life I told myself I was a scaredy cat. And I told everybody I was a scaredy cat. I told everybody I was afraid of everything. And yet the actions in my life didn't show that. I walked away from situations that left me with nothing, and I didn't look back. That's fearless. I stood face to face with people that could have easily destroyed me and sent back exactly the energy they were giving me. Fearless, despite the physical risk literally in front of me. So when you, as the sun, or even in the Knight of Cups energy, when you witness this star showing strength in a way you've never conceptualized it, wow, what came next was a feeling of nostalgia, and that's how you ended up in the star energy. I'm sorry, the sun energy. This is how you end up in the sun energy. You ended up in the sun energy because you witnessed, I'm feeling a force of nature that didn't even know it was a force. And if you look at this strength card, I love this. I love the strength card. Strength card's one of my favorites because I'm absolutely a humongous fan of big cats. And so, and I always see the lion as that representation of confidence, exuding it to a point of where not having to prove it, right? But that's not just confidence. You don't just have confidence. You earn that confidence by breaking down every single flaw you have and turning that into your masterpiece of self. That's confidence. Not this face of, oh, I'm perfect, I look great, everything is wonderful, I am blah, blah, blah. That's ego. That's not confidence. You didn't build that yourself. You took it from other people. And that was the light bulb moment for you when you realized, fuck, I got everything, they got nothing, they're happy, I'm fucking miserable, what the fuck's going on here? I didn't realize I was inverted. And it brought this sense of Six of Cups. And it's not even necessarily just nostalgia. This is a desire for simpler times. A desire for when things were natural and they flowed. And the energy here, this is so much green and growth and beauty and garden-like feelings. And I've been seeing a lot of flashes of gardens that are being tended. Literally saw a sidewalk, and this man on this sidewalk on his hands and knees with a pair of scissors trimming back all of the grass that had grown up through the cracks and along the entire pathway, meticulously cutting every single piece of grass along the way, not even paying attention to where the sidewalk is going, just cleaning up the path. And it feels like that is what this energy, this sun energy, soaked in. Now, if you are the star energy, if you're the star in this, you already had all of these things that I'm talking about. And you may very well have been completely unaware of any resistance, anyone paying attention. And these energies don't necessarily have to be in the physical either. These could be energies in other dimensions that are paying attention to your story. Because if you hit star, you're sending out a signal, right? You're sending out your own frequency. Your heart is openly flowing your energy out there, which sends out an energy signature within the cosmos. Energy signatures that are of star level are very powerful. They catch the attention from everywhere. So if you're the star and this Six of Cups energy was created because of the resistance and you pushing against that resistance and showing your strength, this nostalgia feeling is something you created in someone else because it's something that they felt like, I know that energy. They're remembering their own consciousness through you awakening to your consciousness. Now, the reason why I see this star and the sun as two totally different energies is the sun is a very new star compared to, I don't know, Sagittarius, Betelgeuse. Like the time, the size, the magnitude, the brightness of these stars compared to our sun, the energy that comes out of the star goes further. It lasts longer. It's brighter. It's louder. It's faster. There's nothing wrong with the sun. It's just that's the stage of its journey, right? And the energy of the sun card in this in the tarot is always has a little child on it because our sun is still evolving. Okay? Just like our earth is still evolving. And in the understanding of this star from this sun, it's almost like the sun remembered it's part of a bigger picture because of seeing this star not collapse. Okay? And that brought out the Knight of Pentacles. I see the Knight of Pentacles as the scout. Okay? It's almost like this sun is no longer in this Knight of Cups, Rico Suave energy. It's more like, it's a very, very big shift in energy from like confident, I can use a line and win every time, versus I'm going to dip my toe in the water and see how the water reacts to my toe. The sun comes bearing gifts, but he feels as though these gifts are nothing compared to what you have to offer. Which is why he wants to dip his toe in. And we have Leo energy, and I believe that is Capricorn. I have to look again. I should really memorize my signs. I'm working on it. Here we go. Virgo. Okay, so Earth energy makes sense with the Pentacles, and then we have also Earth and Fire energy, which obviously because Leo's fire. So I am hearing you burn up my world. Okay, so whoever this oh wow, literally, like that's what they're saying, like their entire world got burned because the star never fell. They fell instead, head first into the cups. The shark and the dolphin in the same tank. I love it. Okay, guys, this is the energy that I have for you. This is what I feel has been released in the last night of the 3 nights of full moon last in 2025. So this is your clarity. The sun cannot topple the star. Instead, he fell pretty hard. Or she. Either way. Bye, guys. Have a great day.